In this lesson, we're going to continue to work with landscapes and landscape design in Twinmotion. So in the previous video, we saw how we can generate, how we can create our first landscapes, and then how we can sculpt and paint using the tools that we have here in Twinmotion. So we did a little bit of sculpting and painting and added some of the vegetation props and assets that we can find in Twinmotion library. In this video, we're going to see also other tools that we can use in combination with these props. So we saw also how we can work in product design and visualization, and not only in exteriors or landscapes in Twinmotion. Probably this is the main feature of Twinmotion, to create really large environment with a lot of props. And in this video, we're going to start using these day and night skies. And this is a demo, a template that we can use here from the welcome screen. So I'm gonna start again with this one here, just as we did in the previous video, so that we can start with something really simple and then we can build on top of this. And we have here a starting ground and a starting landscape, which are meshes. So we explained the difference between working with meshes, working with landscape objects. And you can see that we cannot do much here, but we can, if we want, we can go into materials and go into grass and transform this into terrain or a landscape as well. So if we go into materials, not handmade or man-made, because they are like artificial materials, but if we go in the nature folder, we find different types of grounds and terrains. So you can just click and drag. And this one here looks, you can see too much the repetition. So this one is better, but you can test, you can try all the different materials, see which one works best for your scene. So you can see now we have a flat landscape cover with this material, and only one material, and it's repeated too many times. So when you have like a really far horizon, a really far limit to the scene, you start to see the repetition. So what you're supposed to do is try to get rid of that, try to create some variation and reach your scene with props and trees and stuff so that it doesn't get too boring. So we're gonna see how we can do this in this video. And but first of all, I want to play around with materials. So just want to show you water also. We saw how we can create a water cube, but you can place the water material on any object and that will transform that into a water plane, or like, you know, a lake, sea, an ocean. So you can see just by clicking and dragging, we have different types of water materials, and they are also animated. This is another beautiful thing about Twinmotion, is that it's really a useful tool, a useful software if you want to create easy and not heavy animations using landscape objects like water, but also trees and grass. So I'm gonna show you also you can activate and deactivate animation. So we can start with these rocky grasslands, which is another landscape in the landscapes folder in the vegetation. So now we have changed radically the scene. It was like a desert, but right now it looks like you know, some green hills and this lake or sea. Now I can move the starting ground up or down, so this will affect the way the water will fill this scene. So if you want like just a little pond, you can put it down, and if you want a larger area, you can put it up. And also when you use materials, they also have properties like the landscape. So with the landscape, you can sculpt and paint different materials. And here, if you want to get that material, by the way, we have a material picker on the top toolbar, which we didn't use yet. But if you click with that picker on an object, it's going to show you the material on the properties there in the right side. So working with materials is another section that we're going to cover later. So just want to show you that everything is using here materials that can be edited. You can modify them, you can customize them. But we will see this later. I want to concentrate in this video more on landscapes, landscape design. So, and by the way, always give a look also to the path tracer rendering, which is usually going to be way better than the real time, but it doesn't have animation. So if you want animation, you need a light render engine like the real time engine in Twinmotion. Otherwise, you can render with path tracer. It's going to be a static render, but it's going to be way more detailed and accurate. So you can see here we have we're starting to have something more interesting than a flat surface, and we need to choose a placement for our building if you want to do a building. And you're not supposed to look at the landscape from far away. Well, in some cases, yes, but most of the cases you want to be really close to the landscape. So you need to figure out where your camera will be, where your project will be, and you need to get rid of everything you don't need, because it's going to take effort for your computer to render stuff or to save stuff that is not needed. It's outside the frame. So leave only the things that are necessary to you. But we're going to make more examples later. So right now I want to show you another way you can import landscapes. We saw that we can import landscapes as landscapes and also as geometries. Now, there are other software out there that can bring top surfaces, so surfaces from Google Maps or other services. And I want to bring in here a SketchUp file, which I created in the SketchUp course using some SketchUp tools to create landscapes, just to show you that you can get landscapes also from other software like a Blender or SketchUp or others, as long as they are FBX. So in this case, it's SKP, but it's a readable file by Twinmotion. I don't need to export it from SketchUp. I can bring in directly SketchUp, and it's going to work like geometry and material and texture also applied. So I want to do collapse by material, and I'm going to bring in this. So if you're interested in this, you can check video guides in SketchUp and the courses in SketchUp. But right now, I just want to show you this part. So you can see I have a bunch of meshes there, but I don't really see them. So yeah, they were hidden. So I will deactivate everything else, and now I can see this topographic surface. So this is way more accurate because it uses a satellite image, or actually a set of pictures and surfaces, and they are like assembled together. So we can see then the final result is this. And it's not like too accurate, but from a distance, it looks really realistic. If you get closer, it looks less realistic. But again, it depends on your need, what you need to do, and how far you want to be from your main area of your project. So I'm going to use this, and I can build also on top of these. I can create a new landscape. I can create new planes, new objects. So I'm going to show you a couple of tools here in Twinmotion that we can use. So for example, you can see that the water here doesn't look pretty realistic. It looks like a black hole or something. This is a lake, by the way. And if I want to do this a little bit better, I can try using the starting ground as a water plane like this. So this could be an option. So you can see now where the starting ground is, and it's just a plane essentially. So I want to show you here in the library. If you go into objects, and here in the objects, we saw a little bit of home and city assets, which can be used for interiors and exteriors and urban stuff like benches and streetlights. So you can use also all of this stuff to populate your scene. But I want to go now in the primitives. So in the primitives folder, you find a set of primitives. So you find plane, boxes, cylinders, everything that is really a pure form, a pure shape. So you can definitely use a starting ground also, again, from here, or you can get something even smaller because you don't really need that big plane in there. So you have 1 meter plane, 10 meters plane, 1000 meter plane, 100 meters plane. So in here, I want to go with 1000 because this is a really large area that I am using. So I need a big plane, and also to rotate it a little bit. So once it's in position, I can bring in or drag on this surface a water material, and